Okay, so yeah, like I said, you're going to look at me.
Okay.
So can you please start with your first and last name and then spell it out and tell us what your title is?
Okay, my name is Toni Ross, Toniross, and I am, my title is a collaboration manager.
Alrighty, so what's the organization that you work for and what's its purpose in the Oswego community?
The organization is Oswego County Opportunities. We are a non-for-profit community action agency for Oswego County. We're also the anti-poverty agency for Oswego County. We have programs that range from newborn, so like moms with WIC, all the way up to elderly for like Meals on Wheels and senior dining centers. So we kind of cover the gamut from birth to senior. Like I said, we're the anti-poverty agency, so our goal is to reduce not only poverty in our county, but the impact that poverty has on the residents of our county.
Alrighty, and speaking of programs, I saw that there is an event that you're going to be holding tomorrow in town. Can you please explain what that event is and what its purpose is in specific?
Sure. So the event tomorrow is called Couchsurfing. We are doing it as an awareness for homelessness in Oswego County. Since we are a rural area, rural county, when we think of homelessness in our county and in our cities and towns, it's not out in the open. It's not the person under the bridge. It's not the person panhandling on the street necessarily. It's more young people and families going from friend to friend, family member to family member, house to house. I can stay here for 3 nights. I can stay here for 2 nights. So we've labeled that as couch surfing because they're surfing from couch to couch to couch. So in order to raise awareness for that issue in our county, we are doing a demonstration tomorrow night, both in the cities of Oswego and Fulton, from 3 to 8 p.m. Just to get people interested and to show awareness. The secondary reason, other than awareness, is that we have a homeless youth shelter here in the city of Oswego that recently lost funding. So next month, April 29th, we are holding our annual Bolster, which is the proceeds from that are going to go to benefit the shelter, to keep the shelter running until we can secure new funding. So it's not only an awareness event, but it's also a kickoff event to get people thinking about and hopefully to sign up to sponsor a team for the Bola Fund or make a donation for the Bola Fund or maybe come help volunteer at the Bola Fund.
That's awesome. So the funding that you're going to be trying to gain back from the Bola Fund, was that federal funding or was it state funding?
It was a federal grant that we lost. So we're trying to. It's easier to keep a program running than to shut a program down and try to reopen. So we're trying to keep it going as long as we can until we can secure new funding for that.
That's fantastic. Yeah, definitely. So why is it important to hold these events? I mean, obviously you mentioned the homeless youth population is a little bit significant in the county of Oswego.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
I think it's our homeless youth population, I think, is double the state average. I think I'd have to double check the numbers, but I know it's higher than the state average. Oswego County is a county that's in poverty, and so that it affects everybody. Not only are there not jobs, there's not secure, stable housing for people and families. So we really want to not only raise awareness, but it's also education and it's also empathy to understand that just because you see a 16-year-old who's homeless doesn't mean that they just left home because they didn't like mom and dad's rules. There's a lot more behind that situation. And so, you may see that young person out that's homeless, and instead of just being like, oh, that kid, maybe thinking of what I can do to help. And it's not necessarily, taking that person in. We're not asking for that, obviously, but do you have things you can donate? Do you have time you can donate? Do you, can you spare a couple bucks? Do you have some clothes sitting in your closet that are in good condition that you just don't wear anymore? Can you donate those kind of things? And really that awareness, that education, and that empathy to really put yourself in that person's situation and to understand what that must be like and what that must feel like to not really know where you're going to sleep tonight, on a cold February night in Oswego County, to not really know where I'm going to lay my head tonight. It has to be just such a horrible, scary feeling.
Definitely. And so in addition to that, is there any way that for someone who wanted to get involved and wanted to help out the community and help help fight this cause, is there any way that they could do that for you, like, and have that be successful and like participate too?
Sure. I mean, they can obviously, we'll be looking for volunteers for the Bowl-a-thon at the end of April. That will be going out. I'm coordinating the volunteers for that event as well, so people can contact me if they'd like to come help sell raffle tickets, or set up or be hospitality for the teams of bowlers that we're going to have. If someone approaches them asking them to sponsor them for the Bowl-a-thon, we encourage our bowlers to get pledges. That would be a great way to help as well. Like I mentioned before, do you have some clothes sitting in your closet that you're not wearing? Do you have some bottles and cans that you can take back and maybe donate that money instead of, wherever it was going to go? And if the bare minimum I think someone can do is educate themselves, have the awareness, and work towards that empathy that I talked about earlier. I really think that's the bare minimum to start within yourself, to say, what is my reaction when I see and hear this? And is that a helpful reaction, or is it a hurtful reaction? And if you identify it as maybe a hurtful or non-helpful reaction, is there something that you can do to change that to be a helpful reaction?
Okay, well, that's it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. See,